Chapter 6, Nonverbal Communication, an overview of Oculesics and Kinesics with clips from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Most communication occurs through non-linguistic channels, many of which are involuntary. Despite their inherent ambiguity, nonverbals comprise 93% of the emotional impact that messages have on others. Cultures impact how nonverbals are interpreted. This video will focus on Western, particularly American, perspectives of these concepts. Oculesics is the study of the role eyes play in communication. Consider these terms: the eye of God, the inner eye, the eye of Horus, and the fatal evil eye. Large eyes were painted on ships in the Mediterranean as a form of defensive magic, and in 1957 an American company hired someone to periodically glare at employees to ensure optimal performance. There are 4 dimensions of Oculesics: eye contact, gaze direction, pupil dilation, and eye movement. The most important function of eye contact is to gather feedback on the other person's reactions. People often make eye contact for 3 to 10-second intervals, but become uncomfortable if the connection is held longer. While eye contact increases intimacy and improves romantic and parent-child relationships, it also increases one's resistance to persuasion. Pupil dilation and constriction correlate to one's emotions. Dilation occurs when people look at something they are attracted to or interested in. It is often used to measure the state of relationships. Eye movements are very similar and are also used to ascertain one's level of concentration and the object of one's attention. Both of these nonverbal cues are considered involuntary. Let us see these concepts play out in a dyadic conversation from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
When Horrible is startled, his pupils constrict, and the second time he yells, his eyebrows are raised, which the Center of Nonverbal Studies asserts as indicative of recognition. The next time his eyes are visible, the pupils have dilated to normal size.
Hello, you know me, cool. Yeah, you do.
Penny is petitioning for the city to give a building to the homeless shelter. She has been visibly losing heart as her simple request for signatures was met with rejection.
I've seen you.
While both Penny and Horrible primarily gesture with their heads, Penny offers a handshake, which Horrible does not acknowledge.
What are you doing?
Texting. It's very important, or I would stop. What are you doing?
Actually, I'm out here volunteering for the Caring Hands.
When Dr. Horrible looks over his shoulder, his pupils have constricted once again, a sign of apprehension.
Okay, go.
Okay, we're hoping to open a new location soon, expand our efforts. There's this great building nearby that the city is just going to demolish and turn into a
Dr.
parking
Horrible
lot.
has a massive
But
crush
if we
on
get enough
Penny,
signatures-
although this is the first time they have spoken.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go on.
I was saying, maybe we could get the city to donate the building to our cause. We would be able to provide 250 new beds, get people off the streets and into job
He
training.
spends the whole time
So
actively avoiding her eye contact, occupying himself instead with his phone at awkwardly long blinks.
You're not really
When he
interested in
does look at her,
homeless,
however, he focuses exclusively
am.
on her eyes, which is
But
something
they're
called
a
soul
symptom.
gazing. Penny
Being a
utilizes
symptom
a social
that the
gaze, a
disease
term
rages
that
on.
Toastmasters
Soon, the
International,
face, the
an
fish
organization
rots from the
dedicated
head,
to public
as they say,
speaking
so I
and
think
leadership
when I cut off
education,
the head.
describes as looking from eye to eye to mouth in a triangular formation that is perceived as non-threatening.
But I'm talking about an overhaul of the system.
Penny is actively
Power.
seeking eye contact the entire time. Eyes dilated, she is smiling and
I'm
looking
all
at his
for
face
that.
during the entire interaction.
This petition is about the building.
When he signs her petition, they both steal an intimate glance at each other, but not at the same time.
Oculesics is just one part of Kinesics, which is the study of communication through bodily movement. There are 2 main types of gestures, both of which are so fundamental to communication that they are even used by people who have been blind since birth. Emblems are consciously performed gestures that most members of a culture will understand, such as shrugging, waving, nodding, or shaking the head. When appropriately used, gestures can increase the persuasiveness of a communicator. Manipulators are another type of gesture, which are often called fidgeting. These include wringing of hands, straightening of clothing, chewing fingernails, and twirling or grooming hair. Manipulators are considered socially undesirable, and often, but do not always, indicate discomfort. While facial expressions are the most noticeable aspect of nonverbal communication, they are also the most ambiguous. Perhaps because faces can portray at least 8 distinguishable positions of the eyebrows and forehead, 8 more for the eyes and lids, and 10 for the lower face. Finally, the term posture refers to the way people carry themselves. One's posture includes the way he sits, stands, and moves. According to Flora Davis, quote, "Every individual has a characteristic way of holding his body when he sits, stands, or walks. It is something as personal as his signature, and often it appears to be a reliable clue to his character." End quote. Furthermore, Amy Cuddy explains that assuming a power pose, even for a few minutes, increases the amount of power you feel and the amount of respect others give you.
Captain Hammer is literally looking down his nose at Dr. Horrible, and exhibiting the most intimidating gaze, which occurs when people stare in a triangular formation between the eyes and the forehead. Hammer immediately invades Horrible's space and body by intimidatingly grabbing his neck in a display of power dominance. As soon as he looks at her for the first time, this shifts into a dyadic conversation between Hammer and Penny, with Horrible merely a background figure. Dr. Horrible has exchanged his oversized sweatshirt for an equally bulky lab coat. This clothing choice partially obscures his posture and stands in direct opposition to Captain Hammer's form-fitting t-shirt. Hammer demonstrates an intimate gaze when Penny stands up by glancing from her eyes to her chest and lower body, then back to her face. This is sometimes called elevator eyes. As before, Dr. Horrible's posture is submissive and his gestures take up the smallest amount of space. Captain Hammer, however, is communicating through large movements, which the authors of Interplay describe as dominant and masculine. After being thrown in the garbage, Penny's pupils have clearly constricted. The conversation is completed with Hammer stroking Penny's face.
So if you want to persuade others, increase your personal power, or simply avoid misunderstandings, understanding nonverbal cues and signals is a critical part of the communication equation. Thank you for watching.